gravel, rocks and more rocks. Midway through the season, the World Rally Championship hits the hard stuff. The Acropolis Rally might start as a picture postcard, but the ancient monuments speak the truth. This is one of the oldest, but potentially most ruinous rallies in the championship. The terrain has been testing the teams for over 40 years. The speeds here are up on Cyprus, and that means the damage to cars and tyres from the rock-strewn roads rises as the punishment is increased. Punctures are commonplace, and suspension failure is a fact of life. Here, the service crews will earn their money. If the cars survive, they'll carry the drivers over 1,600 kilometres on the mountainous roads of southwest Greece, around the winter ski resort of Parnassus. The race against the clock comes on the 20 special stages, covering a total of 398 kilometres. The fastest car at the end of 3 days wins. This rally has been held since 1952, but for the last 5 years it's been dominated by one man. Colin McRae has won in 1996, 1998 and 2000. He arrives this year on the back of victories on the last 2 rallies in Argentina and Cyprus. Both of which were dogfights with fellow Brit Richard Burns. Like Cyprus, winning Greece could be as much about tactics as outright speed. The start position is governed by the previous day's times. The fastest go first. But starting first is not always an advantage on gravel. It means you clear the worst of the stones for your competitors. So until the final day, expect a game of rallying chess. In Cyprus, Ford knew this only too well, and so McRae slowed down, allowing Burns to take the lead for the last day. Burns wasn't happy with McRae's tactics. A war of words has now started.
Do you think the cleaning effect's going to be a big issue here again?
It will be in some stages a bit, yeah, but everybody knows that, and Richard knew that in Cyprus, so I think he's winding himself up more than anything.
But of course Colin would say those things because he won, but the fact of the matter is that he dropped to second position on the road for the last day in order to be second, to be able to get more grip on the road. So I mean, I think the actions speak louder than anything that he says.
But the man they both have to beat is previous Triple Acropolis winner Carlos Sainz. He's been quietly stacking away his podium places, but he's gone almost a year without a win.
I'm really looking for a victory. We have been very close in Portugal, close in also in Cyprus, and I'm really looking for a win there.
Amazingly, 4-time champion Tommy Mäkinen has never won in Greece, always the victim of mechanical problems. Cyprus was another terrible rally for Peugeot. Not one of their cars finished. Does this mean then that Marcus Grönholm's title hopes are over?
Colin McRae has just shown that within 2 rallies you can actually turn your season around, so it's not all lost yet.
Not really, but it's quite difficult, I think, to now we have 2 bad rallies and tough rallies, Greece and Safari. Okay, everything is possible, but it's not so easy.
Subaru are running 4 cars in Greece. Hoping for better luck than in Cyprus is Petter Solberg. The Norwegian's car went up in flames. Back in the fight is Citroën. This is their debut on gravel in the World Rally Championship, but there was drama during the pre-event shakedown when Thomas Radström's car had a small electrical fire. In Cyprus, Hyundai were setting lightning-quick times. In Greece, they hope for more of the same. But question marks still hang over Skoda. Will they stay, or will they pull out of World Rallying at the end of the year? Almost midway through the season, the championship is close. No one wants to give anything away, and this is how it stands. Tommy Mäkinen is losing his grip at the top of the table, with only 1 point separating him from Carlos Sainz. And with consecutive first and seconds on the last 2 rallies, McRae and Burns have joined the race. Day one of the rally, based in the mountains above Greece's Adriatic coast. 6 stages in all, 143 kilometres of competitive driving with one service at Parnassus. Before the start, Mäkinen and Sainz worry about how much the gravel will slow them down. But after their war of words, there seems to be a truce between Burns and McRae. Mäkinen, though, had bigger worries than his popularity with the other drivers. His championship lead was now under threat. A win in Greece, crucial if he was to hang on to it. Stalled on the line, a dreadful start for the four-time champion on a day when he knew it would be his job to sweep the road clear of gravel. You can see the rocks and stone carpeting the road, rooster tails of dust spouting from each wheel. Mäkinen lost almost a second a kilometre over the first 2 stages. Second off the start, Carlos Sainz, and already the clean line ahead of him is forming. But keeping on that line is like walking the tightrope at 100 kilometers an hour. The man on the move, from no points a month ago to championship challenger today, Colin McRae. Even with a puncture on stage 1, McRae was 4th fastest. But McRae's puncture made him wary of attacking stage 2 too hard, losing him 2 places and 8 seconds. Sleeves rolled up and eyes down for full speed. Richard Burns, twice beaten by McRae in the last 2 rallies, and this time determined to beat the Scot. On stage 1, Burns was quickest. 1994 world champion Didier Auriol, Peugeot 206 world rally car, a winning combination in Spain, but not in Greece. Just a few kilometres into the rally, the clutch breaks and Auriol is out. Bad luck again, striking down the veteran driver.
3 kilometers into this stage, Didier was complaining about the clutch. So we tried to drive a bit slower to reach the finish, but unfortunately it's going quite uphill here and no chance to do more than 4.8 kilometers. So as you can imagine, it's a bit frustrating.
Just hours before the start of the rally, Francois Delacour barreled off his mountain bike when a t-shirt got caught in the spokes. For a time he thought he'd be unable to start, but start he did, only to be slowed by a puncture and his painkillers, which numbed his nerves.
I think I hit a rock. I didn't feel anything, but I hit a rock at the rear for sure, because I had suddenly a puncture and I finished the stage 10Ks like that.
With Mäkinen struggling for grip, Freddie Loix was the fastest Mitsubishi on stage 2 and only just 7 seconds behind Mäkinen overall. On board with Loix, the yellow stickers on the steering wheel tell him when the wheels are pointing straight. Third fastest for a second stage in a row, lifting drop on to second overall. Just a blink of the eye behind the leader. With no spare tyre, Schwartz had to tread carefully on stage 2. Always good in Greece, the Subaru Impreza. Into the lead on stage 2 jumps Subaru's rising star, Petter Solberg. Just to see the difference between Mäkinen running first on the road and Solberg running 12th on the same corner, both cars. On the left, Solberg. On the right, Mäkinen. No wonder Mäkinen is losing time, hand over fist. 9th overall, Toshi Arai, so nearly a podium finisher 2 weeks ago in Cyprus. Is His engine struggling for breath with low turbo boost. Alistair McRae in the Hyundai. Second fastest on stage 2 was Marco Martin. Subaru's plans were to try and split the Fords with Solberg and Martin, leaving Burns in a tactically strong 5th place. So after stage 2, Solberg pleased to be leading, even if it is just by 0.8 of a second from Grunholm. But look how low Mäkinen has dropped. At the Parnassus service, time to repair the cars and work out who was really winning in the game of tactics.
You know, today it's not the important day. It's no pushing at all, and I'm driving a little bit cleaner roads than the other guys. So I think we have to slow down a little bit.
How are you doing, John?
I'm still a little bit wondering what is going on tomorrow. Maybe there is not so many drivers at the moment who wanted to be first car tomorrow, and so we have to follow what is going on.
We're pushing as hard as possible. I think this rally position on the road is not going to be as important as it was in Cyprus. We're just going to push as hard as we possibly can. That's it from start to finish.
I don't think anybody wants to run first car, just as they didn't want to in Cyprus, so maybe today won't be flat out.
Rallying has been a part of Richard Burns' life for as long as he can remember. Totally focused on winning, driving can be a frustrating business.
Get the shovel! Get the shovel!
When I was 15, my dad bought me a day at a rally school, and I went along there, and the guy who was running it said that this is what I should do.
Now there's only one thing on his mind. Runner-up twice. So far the world title has eluded him.
It's going to come sometime. Last year was a fantastic opportunity that we missed out on. I'm fairly philosophical about it. You know, you can't look back. You've always got to look forward to the next event. And there's still theoretically a chance to win this year. Whilst it is there, I'm going to still fight for it.
When he's not chasing the speed of sound, he finds other ways to relax.
Richard Burns sits in front of his DVD and watches film movies. He's got the biggest sofas you can buy. I've got a boat in Menorca, which I spend a little bit of time on. I never wake up in the morning and wonder what to do today.
Temperatures were in the mid-30s by the time the next 3 stages got underway. Cancelled was stage 5 with just too many spectators. Hot under the collar was Tommy Mäkinen on a bed of gravel. His Mitsubishi was all over the place. It took all of his skill to keep it on the road. But Mäkinen finally got on the pace on stage 6, the Finn 4th fastest and now 9th overall. Even one road position made a huge difference. Sainz was only losing half of Mäkinen's time. But panic for Carlos Sainz on the road to stage 6. The Spaniard forced to change a tyre, but also he was having clutch problems. Sainz made it to stage 6 with seconds to spare and was second fastest on the last stage of the day. McRae was on the charge. On stage 4 he set fastest time and edged into 3rd overall. On stage 6 he was fastest by almost 10 seconds over 26 kilometres, deciding that maybe this rally could be won from the front and so taking the lead. Burns was happy to let his teammates get amongst the Fords and try and force them into a mistake. On the road section between stages 3 and 4, Harry Rovanperä swapped over tyres. And then on the stage, a slow-changing gearbox and tyre trouble meant the Finn was down in 10th. Thomas Radstrom in the new Citroën Zara gravel car. He showed its potential with the 4th quickest stage time, but Citroën's dream gravel debut was cut short on stage 6 when the electrics ended his rally. Watch for the rock in the middle of the road. As Marcus Grunholm's season suddenly takes another dive, he thumps the rock punctures the underneath of the engine and goes out of the event. His tally now from the first half of the year, just 4 points, and his title hopes in tatters.
FX for Timo.
Siihen kuljen. Se hajosi tähän.
It seems to be really difficult now. I don't believe how difficult it is. We were now, I think, more than unlucky now. Really.
Is that it for the championship?
Yes, I think so. Now it seems to be really bad for the championship, so I cannot say anything.
Peter Solberg lost time and the lead on the final stage with a gearbox problem, but he'd attacked the stages so hard it begged a question from co-driver Phil Mills.
How many tyres left?
It was not going Subaru's way. Toshi Arai went out before stage 4 when his gearbox gave up the ghost. Arai's dream of a podium place over. The problems continue. This is Kenneth Eriksson in dire straits in the Hyundai.
Go ahead, Kenneth. Finished the stage completely without power steering after 4 kilometers, and absolutely zero boost, no boost whatsoever. It's like Bartel has nothing. We had to check if we can repair anything, but the car doesn't even climb uphill, you see.
Philippe Bulgalski is a natural on tarmac, but not at home on gravel. A spin on stage 4 cost him a few seconds, but no places. But at least he was in the top 10. Marco Martin took his first ever stage win on stage 4, but now tactics came into play. With Solberg unable to get amongst the Fords, Subaru personnel hung out aboard to tell Burns how much time to drop for a good start position on day 2.
35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44.
At the end of a day of cat and mouse, McRae has bitten the bullet and will try and win the rally from the front. Sainz and Burns will have the advantage of a clearer road. Filling the rest of the top 6, Martin, Solberg and Panizzi. Out of the points but not out of the frame, Loix, Rovanpera and down in 9th, Tommy Mäkinen.
What do you make of Richard dropping back, I think, 30 seconds on you over that last stage?
Yeah, it's a lot of time to drop. He could have gauged it a bit closer than that, I think, but that's up to him. It might be too much.
As we've seen on day 1, the order in which the cars run on the gravel stages can be critical.
The first few cars have to put up with what we call the marbles, the small stones which make it very slippery. You probably saw the place where Tommy went off in Cyprus. There's a lot of very small stones where the car slid, and consequently they don't have very good grip.
It's like on the snow.
After 2, 3, 4, 5 cars have passed, those little stones are moved out of the way and they get through to the firm surface underneath, which of course gives them much more grip, therefore they can go quicker. All the top teams and drivers are very close these days, so you have to look for every possible advantage you can, and quite often the position of the road on the road can be critical to your performance.
Hence what we're seeing here in Acropolis, drivers deliberately slowing down to stay down the order on days 1 and 2.
Battleground for day 2. 7 special stages, just under 130 kilometres. Stage 10 has been shortened because the drivers are worried about a sheer 100-metre drop to one side. This is rallying heaven, a part of the planet made for Formula 1 in the forests. Streaking through the valley, Colin McRae, his argument for leading hardly looking convincing. He lost 4 seconds, but then again, no one else really wanted to go so fast they would pass him. Up next, teammate Carlos Sainz, keeping a distance between himself and McRae in the belief that for the final day, a lower start order would improve his chances of a fourth Greek win. With the road rough and rutted, Burns finally had his chance to make a move. Second fastest on stage 8, and now just 2.5 seconds behind Sainz. The question now, whether to pass Sainz or not.
Flat left, 20 easy left, 40 fast left long, to fast left in, long.
Marco Martin had impressed the rally world on day 1, but his chance to shine on day 2 ended when he punctured a tyre and damaged his front suspension. Out of 4th and out of the rally went the Estonian. Martin's troubles were to Solberg's advantage. Up to 4th went the Norwegian, but the price for running low down the order, dust hanging in the still morning air.
Maybe into 2 right minus, double tightens narrow.
Sliding on the stages, Gilles Panizzi, his bid for a points place not helped by a spin in the middle of Carroties. Driving the last works Peugeot in the rally, Harry Robert Perra was second quickest on stage 7 after an overnight transmission change. Kenneth Eriksson's rally of woe finally came to an end on the road section early on the second morning. The Hyundai's turbo finally coughing to a halt. Back at service, Colin McRae was happy still to be winning the rally, and for now, the psychological battles.
Everyone else was sort of controlling it from behind. All we can do is go as quick as we possibly can, and that's what we're going to do today, and probably carry it through to the end of the rally.
It's all the old psychological stuff. Not very likely.
A whole team working to keep their last car in the fight, Peugeot.
Yesterday is a difficult day and we try pushing hard and we will see.
You think you can win?
Everything is possible because we have a lot of stages.
20 minutes to change a gearbox, and with seconds to go, Mäkinen races back to his car. Floors the accelerator and floors a banner. But Mäkinen made it to the time control with just 1 second to spare. Back out into battle, and the next skirmish, stage 9. Another fresh road for McRae to sweep, but these stages are not as bad as those on day 1, and McRae was 5th fastest, a time set with bravery as much as power. Showing why he could be dangerous on the final day, Sainz was fastest at Livadia. Burns tried hard to take time off the Fords, but with Sainz upping the ante, he dropped back rather than closed in on second place. It bothered him that he couldn't make more of an impact. Petter Solberg punctured on stage 9 and dropped to within 8 seconds of Harry Robert Perra's jaws. Car 8, stage 9, and Freddie Loix damaged the nose of his Mitsubishi on a big jump, breaking the radiator, the intercooler and the turbo. 3 in 1. Another yup, Robert Perra buried the nose of his Peugeot. Stopped by the side of the stage, Alistair McRae. A drive shaft problem losing him time and oil, which had briefly caught fire. The Scot continued, but only with three-wheel drive. Because stage 10 have been shortened, this is one of the few chances you'll get to experience a whole stage in the World Rally Championship with one of the world's top drivers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 70 flat right at 100.
McRae's time on this stage, 1 minute 57.9 seconds. The man who has to try and beat it, Richard Burns, your co-driver and commentator, Robert Reed.
200 flat right, minus tight. Right, 50, right max, 150, easy right, and easy right minus, slow now. 50, flat left, 60, flat left, minus times maybe 40, easy right, and easy right, 20 easy left plus in, 60, fast left, minus, and fast left, 60 braking, long press 10, 90 left, minus, long, 50,
ridiculous place for a fine finish.
Burns was 5th quickest on that stage, again losing time to the Fords. Back to full-length stages at stage 11. McRae losing more time as he battles against the gravel. For the second time today, Sainz was a stage winner, piling the pressure on his teammate by closing the gap to 13 seconds. Going in the opposite direction, Richard Burns now 10 seconds behind Sainz. The more time he lost today, he knew the more he'd have to claw back on the final day. Mäkinen kept playing with the setup of his Mitsubishi, but nothing suited the Finn. Bulgalski was 6th fastest, his best stage time so far. Delacour was almost screaming in pain as the power steering failed in his car. He dropped from 7th to 10th. So after stage 11, McRae's lead down to 13 seconds. Both Sainz and Burns trying to get as close as possible to set up a grandstand finish for day 3. Back at service, Delacour was putting on a brave face. The power steering failure almost certainly costing him a points finish.
I was trying to catch the people in front, like Mäkinen. I think now it will be impossible with the problem.
The final 2 stages of the day, 42 kilometres in total. Time for Burns and Sainz to get as close as they can to McRae. Stages 12 and 13 were reruns of earlier ones, but again the Flying Scot lost more time. Now all he could do was wait and see what the others were capable of. Sainz was faster than McRae on stage 12, but on stage 13 the Scot was marginally quicker. The final gap between the teammates, 9.8 seconds. Burns needed all the help he could get to close in on Sainz. Subaru managers prepared a pit board to tell him the Ford's times. And a time 7 seconds faster than Sainz put the Englishman back in the frame, just 5 seconds off the Spaniard. 2 third places allowed Petter Solberg to pull away again from Harry Rovanperä. His ability to watch Burns' back could prove to be invaluable when the top three go head-to-head on the last day. Rovanperä couldn't explain why he was suddenly losing time at the end of the day, but still he's just 12 seconds off Solberg. Schwartz benefited from Freddie Loix getting almost a 2-minute time penalty, the German now in the top 10. Never say die should be Delacour's motto. His wrists burning with pain, his car fixed, the Frenchman was back to full speed. Another stage win on stage 12 and second place on stage 13. With 7 stages and 132 kilometres to the finish, just 15 seconds between the top 3, and ready to pick up the pieces, Solberg, Rovanperä and Mäkinen. And there's even a chance for points for those just outside the top 6, especially Delacour and Bulgalski.
The Acropolis Rally is where the tyre manufacturers earn their money. Tread selection and puncture prevention are vital. Both are driven to destruction.
It's such a tough rally, there's so much rock, there's so much...
Day 3 and a grand finale to the rally that has so far all been about tactics. 7 stages including 2 mammoth ones of 38 kilometres. So roll up for the greatest rally show on earth. Day 3 started bright and early. First up to the line, Colin McRae. Here's the hardest job of the lot, to defend a lead on a surface that for the first 2 stages at least benefited the drivers behind. Stage 15 was the big one, almost 40 kilometres. This the measure of McRae's ability and the amount of risk he was taking by running first on the road.
30.
But McRae was fast, but fast
30,
enough,
3 right
only time would tell.
30.
But Sainz had chosen a wrong tyre, and it cost him almost a second to McRae over just 8 kilometres. It wasn't much better on the next stage. Leaping like a praying mantis off the line, Richard Burns. Whilst the gravel was bad for McRae, he knew he must shave as much time as possible. Twice the loser to McRae in the last 2 rallies, Burns duly set fastest time over stage 14. Up the pace, fastest through stage 15 by almost 5 seconds from anyone else, and 18 from Rovanperä. Rovanperä was the fastest Michelin runner, but his problem was a lack of grip. Once he almost went off stage 15, he decided to be safe rather than sorry. Having enough trouble keeping his Mitsubishi on the road, but midway through stage 15, navigator Risto Madison-Mäki lost his place in the pace notes. Without them, Mäkinen was driving blind. The air in the car was blue with rage. Mäkinen tells Mäki to find the pace note for a big jump he knows is coming up. When he finds that, he knows he'll be back on track. Delacour's wrist was worse on day 3 than on the previous 2 days. And with Mäkinen losing time, Delacour's third place on the super long stage meant he closed to within 20 seconds of the finish.
150 mètres gauche, 110 stars.
Philippe Bulgalski had been getting faster and faster in the Citroën. On the first 8 kilometres of stage 15, he was fastest of any car, but he lost time through the twisty section in the middle.
60 termes et 3 sorties. Peigne gauche 60 termes et 3 sorties. 30 mètres, peigne droite 70 non ferme. Peigne droite 70 de long terme.
Armin Schwartz was looking comfortable in the Skoda for a manufacturer's point. Panizzi was happy to be in the top 10, but not so happy when his suspension failed on stage 14. Caught behind the Frenchman, this is Freddie Leutz, the Belgian, 10th, half a minute behind Schwartz. Even with no chance of a top 15 finish, Alistair McRae still pushed hard enough to be 9th quickest on stage 15. Midway through the stage, Burns was making up time hand over fist. To find out how he was doing against the Fords up ahead was a Subaru team pit board.
Right. Plus 30.
Right after the board, the Englishman misses a braking point, locks up his wheels and slides off the road. Nose to the heavens, he floors the accelerator, but the car is too deeply buried in the gravel.
Shit.
This low.
Spectators rush to help.
Come on!
No way we're stopping here, man.
Back at service, news of the crash comes via a Pirelli spotter
Richard.
out on the stage.
How do you know?
There's a Billy Joy there. Says it's not fast. You saw the powder?
Yeah.
It is not fast.
Next through the stage is teammate Petter Solberg.
Half long, keep in on that front. Into sharp 2 right.
There, through the windscreen, you can see Burns' car, its bonnet sticking up over the edge.
Back!
The clock ticking, his heart pounding, and any chance of points draining away, Burns screams at the spectators to push. Finally, the car breaks free. Burns is back on the stage, but the rally is lost.
Right Max, the crash right Max on.
He went off, now he's coming back.
3 minutes. Lost 3 minutes.
But don't you see there's a possibility that he may have been distracted by the information?
I don't think we'll ever know whether it did or not. Say Richard made a mistake. He was going flat out, and I think it could have been any corner from what he says. It's noisy in the car. There's a lot of distraction, not just split time boards and so on. And I think under at that speed, this sort of thing happens.
The reason I went off, basically, I missed the braking point. I still could hear Robert, and I just braked too late for the corner. I went down the outside after the corner.
With Burns out of the frame, Ford now have to decide whether to order their drivers to hold position.
Is it time for team orders?
No, I mean basically with 5 stages still to run, and Petter as close as he is, and if you look at the time that he's done on the last one, then for sure, and judging the nature of these stages, we will certainly not be implementing team orders at the moment.
The World Rally Championship is the ultimate test for the best drivers on the planet, but alongside it is a new championship, the Super 1600s Cup, for the next generation of drivers.
It will be difficult, I think. It's very many people and very good drivers who are in Super 16 this year, but I think it's a very good experience for the future, so we are here to learn.
Having started in Catalonia, the Super 1600s takes in 6 rounds of the World Championship, 3 on asphalt and 3 on gravel.
We hope we found a formula whereby all the cars are fairly similar in performance. Therefore, we'll find out the best drivers.
Performance is restricted primarily by cost. Each car must come in under $118,000. For that, you get a basic package. No turbocharger and only 2-wheel drive. A WRC car is 4 and has massive horsepower. Here at the Acropolis Rally, the small cars took a battering. Running behind the WRCs, the stages were even more rutted. Out of 22 starters, only 8 finished.
Very hard, but the important thing is that we came to the finish and got points in the championship.
Not only points, Martin Stenhorn's consistent driving in a Ford Puma gave him a 3rd spot on the podium. While Andrea Della Villa in the Fiat Punto, a whopping 8 minutes ahead, took 2nd place.
Very hard rally, very hard. It's very difficult for me and for the car also.
But it was Citroen's Sebastian Loeb in the Saxo who won with ease to cement his lead in the championship with a win here in Acropolis.
Couldn't be better. We win the first race in Catalonia. Now we win this one. This year, for the moment, all is perfect for me.
After 2 rounds, here's how the championship looks.
Back with the big boys, and Burns might have been out of the picture, but still McRae had to worry about sights. Colin McRae sensed his lead was slipping. On stages 17 and 18, it dropped to 8 seconds. Sights relish this charge to show McRae he's still capable of the fight. Fastest on both 17 and 18, prove the point. His bonnet flapping and his car looking very second-hand. Burns set fastest time on stage 16 to show what might have been.
Over jump, maybe 120, flat right and flat right. 60 flat left over.
Just wishing the end would come soon. Petter Solberg, who'd inherited Burns' 3rd place. But there was heart-in-the-mouth stuff on stage 18 when he spun his Subaru, but he still set 6th fastest time.
30, line into 1 left, last right, it's narrow.
Rovanperä still wanted 3rd, but not even some quick times closed the gap by much. Walking in unison again, Mäkinen and Manus and Mäki, and able to keep Delacour at bay in a battle which was now for 5th. Crunching into a rock blew a tyre on Loitz's Mitsubishi. He and Sven Smits pulling over in the stage to fix the flat. So no change in the top 6, but confirmation that Seitz is on a charge and scything away at McRae's lead. Into Parnassus then for the final service. McRae knows why team orders are impossible.
It's quite difficult because the time gap's still quite tight back to Petter, and it's a long, difficult stage, and if you misjudge the backing off, you could get very, very close. So I think it's good to fight as well all the way to the end.
I think it's going to be quite tight. We are repeating now the stages of this morning, and I think it was a bit faster this morning in those stages, but you never know, we have to try.
Burns knew he needed his car perfect for the last-ditch fight for 6th. Just 8.25 kilometres, the return to Amphiclea. Not long enough to make up time, but plenty long enough to lose it.
and 4
McRae
left
was
for
fast through the
Titans.
stage, but he needed to find
30.
out what Sykes was capable
6
of.
left into.
Just when he needed to create some magic, Sykes was fastest on the stage. Now less than 6 seconds between them. Burns' rally had gone from bad to worse.
Flat right, Titans, baby. 20 flat left, plus. Oh, good fire.
Tell me about it.
Turn the radio on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supervision for Richard. The prop's broken on the start line. We're just going slowly through the stage. What do you want us to do?
Richard, stop.
Okay, stopping.
We just on the start line of this stage, the prop shaft broke, and if we carried on like that, where it's broken is very near the fuel tank, so we didn't want to risk carrying on. We could maybe have finished the stage, but to then go and do a 40.
The final stage of the rally. The gap between first and second just 5.9 seconds. And bear in mind that the closest finish in modern World Rally history was 2.1 seconds between Colin and Carlos on the 1998 Corsica Rally. That time, McRae won. McRae into the stage like a rocket, calmly and efficiently placing his car through the fastest lines. Giving it his best, but knowing that that might not be enough. Two minutes later, Sykes is into the stage with a chance at his first win in 9 months. But in the car, disaster. The engine heaving and coughing. Sykes knows it's all over. What cruel, cruel luck. Just 28 kilometres from possibly becoming the world's most successful rally driver, he's out. Almost in tears, he breaks the news to the Ford camp.
First starting 3-cylinder, and then after a while I lost the oil pressure, so has to be I suppose a piston or something.
Petter Solberg can hardly believe his luck as second became his, a career best for Norway's sporting superstar. Robert Pera tried as hard as he could, but in the end he had to settle for third. Peugeot happy to get a finish. Mäkinen finally got it together to win the final stage and take fourth. Fifth and deserving of a medal for his bravery, Francois Delacour. And delight for Bulgarski, picking up sixth for the Zara in its gravel debut. With sights out, Ford flashed a text message to McRae telling him to slow down. He needed to fight no longer. Victory was his.
Okay. I'm getting used to this. Well done.
Joy for team boss Malcolm Wilson. So the winner for the fourth time in Greece and the third rally in a row, Colin McRae.
Colin, very well done. 3 wins out of 3. How do you feel?
Great, delighted. It's been a fairly major turnaround.
You said to us before Argentina that maybe a couple of wins from the next 3 events would be handy. Did you think that 3 out of 3 was attainable?
Well, obviously that's what we were going to try and do, but you know, it's difficult enough to win one event, never mind 3 in a row. So I mean, we're delighted, and we'll just try and keep the ball rolling as long as we can.
10 Ks before the finish, I broke the gearbox, so we have a button we push to that it says limp home, and I get some few gears, but not everybody. So so I was quite afraid it would be worse.
But you must be ecstatic to be on the podium.
Yeah, I must say this is unbelievable. It's been a long time since I've been so happy like now, and I just looking forward to next rally already, and I hope I deserved it.
A podium place for Harry Rovanperä, who left right after the rally for a major Peugeot test session. Mäkinen lucky to get fourth, but work needed also on the Mitsubishi.
We have to work for this kind of condition. We have to work hard. It is. It's not quite. We are not quite in where we should be.
Confirmation then of McRae's winning margin, 49 seconds, and a superb career best second going to Solberg. Rovanperä and Peugeot relieved to get third. Just out of the point, Schwartz in the Skoda and Freddie Leitz in the Mitsubishi. McRae's win takes the 95 champion level with Mäkinen in the Drivers' Championship as the season reaches half-time. In the manufacturers, Ford now 7 points ahead of Mitsubishi. In less than a month, the World Championship jets off to Africa for the toughest rally of them all, the Safari. But career win number 23 in Greece means Colin McRae goes level with Sainz and Juha Kankkunen as the most successful rally drivers in history. Join us in Kenya to see if Colin McRae can go